Thank you for choosing wisdom of the Dharma. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new update. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, life-changing wisdom with the world. And don't forget to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's grow and learn together. Are your walls silently stealing your fortune? Have you ever walked into someone's home and immediately felt a heavy, unexplainable tension in the air, almost as if the walls themselves were pressing down on you? Now imagine this. What if that same invisible pressure is quietly existing in your own house, right this very moment? It may sound surprising, but in Feng Shui and Buddhist philosophy alike, colors are not just decoration. They are vibrations, living energies, that influence your mood, your actions, even the flow of karma and fortune around you. A shade that feels trendy on a paint chart might actually be draining your wealth, your health, and your peace day after day, year after year. Think about it. Why do hospitals often use pale, cold tones? Why do temples and sacred spaces favor gold, ivory, and gentle greens? It isn't random. Ancient wisdom tells us that color affects the mind the way food affects the body. Some nourish you. Others weaken you. Yet most people still choose house paint by flipping through catalogs or following whatever color happens to be in style. They don't realize that their casual decision could invite poverty, create family conflicts, or even trap them in cycles of fatigue and frustration. In Buddhism, the mind and environment mirror one another. When the colors surrounding you are in harmony, your spirit feels light, motivated, and open to opportunity. When they are not, the heart grows heavy, irritability increases, and even relationships begin to fray. In short, the wrong paint color doesn't just clash with your curtains, it clashes with your destiny. In today's video, we will uncover the 7 house paint colors that act like hidden thieves of fortune. These shades may look stylish at first glance, but once they dominate your living space, they subtly shift energy away from prosperity and toward decline. I'll also share how to correct the damage if you've already chosen one of these colors, and more importantly, which shades will truly invite wealth and peace into your life. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear could change the way you see your own home forever. After all, your house is not just a shelter, it is a living energy field. And if you know how to work with it wisely, it can become your greatest ally on the path to abundance. Why colors shape destiny? Why do some homes feel immediately welcoming, while others feel cold or unsettled, even if they're beautifully designed? The answer often lies in something we overlook every single day: color. In Feng Shui, color is not just a surface coating, it is energy made visible. Each shade carries the frequency of one of the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, or water. When balanced, these elements create harmony. When one dominates or weakens another, imbalance follows. For example, too much water energy may suppress fire, leading to a loss of motivation or warmth. Too much fire can burn away peace, creating tension and conflict. Color is the vehicle through which these elemental energies enter your home. Buddhist philosophy teaches something strikingly similar: the mind shapes the world, and the world shapes the mind. If you constantly surround yourself with dull, cold tones, your thoughts eventually mirror that heaviness. If you live in a space filled with warmth and vitality, your spirit rises more naturally toward joy and clarity. What you see daily becomes what you feel internally. I once observed this truth in a business client who repainted his office from an austere gray to a gentle cream yellow. He had thought gray would look professional and modern, but soon he found his staff losing energy, struggling with motivation, and even clashing more often. Within weeks of changing to cream yellow, a color aligned with the earth element and stability, the mood shifted. Employees began smiling more, collaboration returned, and productivity rose. Nothing mystical happened, it was simply the invisible psychology of color aligning with the flow of energy. Colors act like food for your emotions. Just as some meals nourish while others leave you sluggish, some colors feed vitality while others quietly drain it. The walls of your home are not neutral backdrops, they are constant companions influencing your subconscious. This is why Feng Shui masters caution us not to choose paint randomly. It is like selecting the wrong medicine for the body. It may look harmless, but it changes your inner state over time. And from a Buddhist view, those subtle changes of mind and mood ripple outward, shaping speech, action, and ultimately karma. Your home, then, is not just a shelter, it is a mirror of your destiny. When its colors resonate with balance and life, you will find yourself moving forward with clarity and abundance. When they are misaligned, even the strongest determination can feel like pushing against a locked door. The colors that quietly drain your fortune. Before we dive deeper, let us look at the shades that may seem harmless but actually act like silent thieves of wealth and harmony. These are not just unlucky colors, they are energies that, if misused, can quietly weaken your spirit, relationships, and prosperity. When black becomes a cage of darkness. Black can look elegant, bold, even mysterious. Many people paint their walls in deep black tones hoping for a modern and dramatic effect. But in Feng Shui, black is never neutral, it is the color of the water element at its heaviest, absorbing rather than reflecting energy. When used in excess, it creates an environment that feels more like a cage than a home. From an energetic view, black tips the balance of yin and yang entirely toward yin. Yin energy is meant to be calm and grounding, but when it dominates unchecked, it becomes suffocating. Rooms drenched in black often feel smaller, colder, and far more oppressive than they truly are. Instead of supporting life, they swallow vitality, leaving the spirit restless and heavy. In Buddhist thought, black is often linked with ignorance, the blindness of the mind that cannot see the light of wisdom. To dwell in an overly dark space is to risk reinforcing that blindness. Over time, irritability, sadness, and isolation can arise, not because of fate, but because the environment subtly feeds those emotions. Does this mean you must eliminate black completely? Not at all. Black can still be used carefully, as an accent, to create depth or to ground lighter tones. The remedy is balance. Introduce warm hues like cream, pale yellow, or earthy orange. Use golden or soft white lighting. Bring in natural wood, or place vibrant artwork and living plants to restore yang energy. When light returns, so does clarity. And clarity is the first step toward both peace of mind and prosperity. The cold emptiness of pale white. At first glance, white seems pure, fresh, and timeless. Many people love the idea of painting their entire home in shades of white, thinking it will bring cleanliness and simplicity. But not all whites are equal. Pale white, especially when it drifts toward ashy or dull tones, carries a very different energy. In Feng Shui, this kind of white is associated with funerals, with endings rather than beginnings. Unlike ivory or cream, which radiate warmth, pale white feels cold, detached, and unable to nourish life energy. A room covered in this shade may look neat, but it often feels sterile, like a hospital ward, draining rather than uplifting the spirit. On a subtle level, pale white lacks grounding. It does not store or hold energy, which means the efforts and emotions of those living there find no place to settle. Over time, this creates fatigue, lack of focus, and even withdrawal among family members. Children may become quieter, adults lose motivation, and relationships grow distant. From a Buddhist perspective, pale white reflects a misunderstanding of emptiness. True emptiness is freedom and openness, but here, it manifests as a hollow void, a lack of vitality. Instead of opening space for growth, it closes the heart with indifference. The solution is simple: balance coldness with warmth. Add cream, soft beige, gentle pink, or pale turquoise to bring life back. Wooden furniture, bamboo pieces, or green plants such as peace lilies and lucky bamboo can soften the austerity. Even adjusting lighting from stark white to warm yellow can transform the entire mood. With the right balance, white no longer becomes a symbol of emptiness, but of renewal and peace. Gray walls, gray spirit. Gray is often praised in modern design for its sleek, neutral appearance. It feels safe, minimal, and stylish. Yet in Feng Shui, ash gray carries the energy of stillness taken too far, an energy of stagnation. Instead of balance, it represents indecision, a life without momentum. When gray dominates a living space, movement slows. The room becomes emotionally flat, neither warm nor cold, neither inviting nor inspiring. In such an environment, enthusiasm weakens. People may procrastinate more, lose interest in projects, and feel disconnected from their own goals. Creativity, which thrives on vibrancy, quietly fades under gray's weight. Buddhist wisdom warns against this state of dullness. It is like living without truly living, going through motions while the heart remains asleep. Just as the middle path teaches balance between extremes, a home also requires a balance of color that inspires both calm and vitality. Too much gray is like a life caught in neutral gear, unable to move forward. The remedy is to awaken the space with life-giving tones. Combine gray with warm colors such as soft golden yellow, earthy orange, or jade green. Add light-themed artwork or natural scenery to remind the mind of movement and growth. Introduce gentle lighting or scented candles to soften the heaviness. Even small Feng Shui cures like a flowing water feature or wind chimes can break the stagnation, allowing qi to circulate again. With intention, gray no longer signals lifelessness. Instead, it can serve as a subtle backdrop that highlights joy, activity, and abundance, when paired wisely with energy that moves. Too much red, too much fire. Red is the color of passion, vitality, and celebration. In small amounts, it sparks energy and enthusiasm. But when it overwhelms a home, covering walls, ceilings, or entire rooms, it no longer inspires. Instead, it agitates. In Feng Shui, bright red belongs to the fire element. Fire transforms and energizes, but when uncontrolled, it burns away stability and harmony. A space drenched in vivid scarlet carries excessive yang energy, leaving the mind restless and the body tense. People surrounded by too much red may become irritable, quick-tempered, or unable to relax. Sleep grows shallow, conflicts rise easily, and even minor disagreements can ignite into arguments. Buddhist teachings compare unbalanced fire to unchecked anger and desire. Both are forms of suffering, consuming inner peace and clouding judgment. Just as a flame can illuminate or destroy, red must be used with wisdom. Without moderation, it fuels the mind toward constant struggle rather than cooperation and growth. The remedy is not to banish red entirely, but to place it with care. Use deeper, calmer tones like wine red or brick red in accents, perhaps a decorative pillow, a painting, or a prosperity altar. Balance red with the cooling influence of water tones such as blue, or with the grounding earth tones of beige and soft yellow. Introducing wooden elements, green plants, or natural imagery also helps temper fire's intensity. When balanced, red becomes auspicious. It symbolizes strength, courage, and prosperity. But when left unchecked, it burns not only the walls, but also the peace within those who live there. drowning in the depth of blue. Blue is often cherished for its calming effect, reminding us of the ocean or the sky. But when the shade turns deep and heavy, its energy shifts. In Feng Shui, deep blue belongs to the water element. Water is wisdom and flow, yet too much of it drowns rather than nourishes. A room painted in dark blue can feel like sinking beneath the surface of the sea. Instead of calm, it creates a sense of isolation. Energy no longer circulates outward but turns inward, closing itself off. Over time, those living in such a space may feel quiet sadness, lose motivation, or drift into procrastination. Social connections weaken as people become withdrawn, preferring solitude over interaction. From a Buddhist perspective, deep blue in excess mirrors the state of delusion or inner heaviness, where clarity is clouded and the light of awareness cannot break through. It is the stillness that stagnates rather than the stillness that liberates. Instead of supporting mindfulness, it risks pulling the heart into lethargy. To restore balance, combine deep blue with warm, bright tones. Cream, ivory white, soft yellow, or peach can lift the mood. Use warm lighting or allow natural sunlight to flood the room. Add wooden elements, natural furniture, bamboo, or green plants, to harmonize the cold water energy. Even placing artwork of the sunrise or imagery of flowing rivers can awaken the sense of movement and vitality. When moderated, blue becomes a color of depth and wisdom. But without balance, it slowly turns the home into a silent ocean, pulling its residents further from joy and abundance. Dark green that refuses to grow. Green is usually celebrated as the color of life, renewal, and fresh beginnings. But when green becomes too dark and heavy, its meaning shifts. In Feng Shui, dark green is linked to the wood element that has grown old and rigid. Instead of representing sprouting vitality, it symbolizes trees that no longer grow, stuck, hardened, and resistant to change. A home dominated by dark green can feel like being lost in a dense forest where little light breaks through. Energy becomes closed, stagnant, and lacking movement. Over time, this may manifest as complacency. People living there settle for just enough, losing their drive to progress or innovate. In competitive environments, such energy quietly pushes residents behind, unable to keep pace with change. From a Buddhist perspective, dark green echoes the tendency to cling to the past. Just as old wood resists bending, the mind that clings too tightly resists transformation. Yet all things are impermanent. Refusing to grow means refusing to flow with reality, and that resistance often brings suffering. The solution is to invite back the freshness of life. Replace dark tones with brighter greens, jade, moss, or the color of new leaves in spring. Pair them with natural light by keeping windows open and using sheer curtains. Adding Feng Shui symbols of vitality, such as lucky bamboo or small indoor plants, further restores balance. When green is vibrant and alive, it uplifts the mind, reminding us of growth and adaptability. But when it darkens too much, it traps us in rigidity, holding us back from the wealth and opportunities that come with change. The heavy weight of dark brown. Brown carries the grounding energy of the earth element. In moderation, it represents stability, connection, and a sense of being rooted. But when brown becomes too dark and dominates the home, its energy shifts from supportive to suppressive. Imagine walls painted in deep brown, paired with heavy curtains and bulky wooden furniture. Instead of warmth, the atmosphere feels heavy and closed. Qi, the life force, slows down, leaving residents tired and uninspired. Even capable people may feel held back, unable to reach their full potential, as if opportunities slip away simply because the energy to grasp them is missing. In Buddhist terms, this heaviness mirrors attachment, the clinging to what is old and familiar. Just as a tree cannot grow if its roots cling too tightly to rocky soil, the mind cannot flourish when it refuses to release what no longer serves. Excessive earth energy fosters false security, encouraging conservatism, resistance to change, and fear of stepping into new possibilities. The remedy is not to abandon brown altogether, but to lighten its presence. Use dark brown only in details, floors, shelves, or small pieces of furniture, while balancing with brighter tones like ivory, cream, or soft yellow. Introduce symbols of growth and clarity, such as crystal pagodas, natural stones, or fresh plants, to lift the energy upward. When harmonized, brown offers steadiness without suffocation. It reminds us of Earth's support, but also of its openness to renewal. And when the weight of darkness is lifted, both family harmony and financial opportunities can flow freely once again. We've just explored 7 colors that, when used carelessly, can quietly drain the energy of a home. Each shade carries meaning far beyond appearance, shaping the way we feel, act, and even the fortune we attract. But the story doesn't end with avoidance. Feng Shui and Buddhist wisdom also reveal colors that nurture growth, wealth, and peace. In the next part, we'll discover the shades that not only protect your household but also invite prosperity to flow in like sunlight through an open window. The fortune colors that invite prosperity. Now that we've uncovered the colors that quietly drain fortune, the natural question is, which shades can actually invite wealth, harmony, and renewal into our lives? Feng Shui doesn't stop at warnings, it also guides us toward solutions. And Buddhist wisdom reminds us that true prosperity arises when our environment supports both balance and clarity of mind. Let's explore 3 fortune colors that act as powerful allies on the path to abundance. The golden warmth of cream yellow. Imagine the gentle glow of morning sunlight filling a room. That is the feeling cream yellow brings. In Feng Shui, this shade belongs to the earth element, the very center of balance in the 5 elements system. Earth energy stabilizes, nurtures, and connects. Painted on walls, cream yellow transforms a home into a place of safety, harmony, and steady growth. Unlike harsh yellow, cream yellow radiates warmth without overwhelming the eyes. It makes spaces appear brighter and more inviting. Families often notice that conversations become softer, meals more enjoyable, and gatherings more cheerful when surrounded by this color. The energy is welcoming, and with it, wealth tends to stay rather than slip away. In Buddhist tradition, yellow symbolizes wisdom and enlightenment, the robe of the monk, the glow of insight. To live with this color is to live with a reminder that prosperity should be paired with clarity. Without wisdom, wealth can scatter. With wisdom, wealth is used for benefit and compassion. To apply this color effectively, use cream yellow in shared spaces, the living room, kitchen, or hallways where connection happens. Pair it with wooden accents or natural light to create a radiant but grounded atmosphere. This is a color that tells the world, here, prosperity is welcome. The fresh breath of light green. Step into a forest at springtime and you'll understand the power of light green. This shade carries the energy of renewal, young leaves, fresh grass, and growth unceasing. In Feng Shui, light green belongs to the wood element, the element of expansion and creativity. It lifts the spirit and awakens the mind, making it perfect for areas where you want progress and inspiration. Unlike dark green, which stagnates, light green vibrates with vitality. It soothes the eyes, reduces stress, and gently encourages movement forward. People who live surrounded by this shade often feel refreshed, motivated, and more open to new opportunities. From a Buddhist view, green embodies compassion, the willingness to grow beyond oneself for the benefit of others. Just as a plant turns toward the sun, Compassion directs energy outward. Prosperity flows most freely when generosity is present. Thus, light green not only supports personal success but also reminds us to expand kindness. Practical application: paint an office, study, or creative space in soft green. Pair it with natural wood furniture or beige tones for grounding. A touch of sunlight filtering through sheer curtains can enhance its vitality. In these spaces, ideas sprout more easily, learning feels lighter, and new ventures find fertile soil. The gentle purity of ivory white. At first glance, white might seem risky. After all, we spoke earlier about the emptiness of pale white. But ivory white and cream white are different. They are white softened with warmth, like dawn breaking through thin clouds. They preserve purity while adding gentleness, making a room feel open yet welcoming. In Feng Shui, ivory white clears stagnant energy and makes a home appear larger and brighter. It is especially recommended for those entering new life stages, moving into a new house, beginning a career, or starting a family. The color represents fresh beginnings, clean slates, and new momentum. Buddhism sees white as a symbol of purification, washing away the dust of the past to reveal a pure heart. Ivory white carries that same spirit. It does not freeze energy, it refreshes it. Living in such a space reminds us daily that every moment is a chance to begin again, to choose clarity over confusion, openness over fear. To make the most of ivory white, avoid cold lighting. Instead, use warm yellow lights or natural daylight to highlight its gentle quality. Pair it with touches of light wood, pastel greens, or cream yellow for depth. The result is a space that feels calm, bright, and always ready for new blessings. These three shades, cream yellow, light green, and ivory white, are more than aesthetic choices. They are energy partners, shaping the way you feel, the way you act, and the fortune you attract. When chosen wisely, colors don't just decorate walls, they weave harmony into your daily life. As we reflect on the journey through colors, those that drain and those that uplift, a deeper truth emerges. The power of your home lies not in perfection, but in balance. No shade is purely good or purely bad. Even black can ground, even red can energize, and even white can purify. The danger begins only when one energy dominates, silencing the others. This is the same wisdom the Buddha taught through the middle way. Prosperity is not found in extremes, neither in indulgence nor denial, but in harmony. A home filled with balanced colors mirrors a mind that knows moderation. And a balanced mind is the soil in which true wealth, both spiritual and material, can grow. Think of your house as a living mirror of your inner state. Heavy tones may reveal attachments or fears. Empty colors may show avoidance. Vibrant yet balanced shades remind us of openness, joy, and confidence. When you choose colors with awareness, you are not just decorating walls, you are setting intentions for your future. So, what lesson can we take? Prosperity is not about chasing luck outside. It begins with nurturing the right environment inside. A home that feels alive, welcoming, and clear will naturally attract opportunities, because the people living within it are energized, focused, and at peace. Wealth is not a matter of chance, it is the reflection of harmony between your inner world and your outer space. Before we close, I invite you to pause and reflect. What colors surround you right now? Are they lifting you up, or are they quietly holding you back? If you feel ready for change, even a single wall repainted with intention can shift the energy of your entire life. If this teaching resonated with you, take a moment to affirm it by writing in the comments, "I choose balance, I choose prosperity." Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma, and turn on the notification bell. Together, let's continue building a community that lives with clarity, harmony, and abundance, inside and out.